Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mike Armstrong Podcast show. And this afternoon, we're joined by Pjero Mardesic, who's joining us all the way from Sydney, Australia. And how are you doing today, Pjero? You okay? Oh, it looks like we've got you frozen again, Pjero. I'm not sure if that's my Wi-Fi or yours.
Yeah, well, I'm very well. And first of all, I just felt to listening tonight.
Yeah, we missed you there. So in fact, because it's new in, I'm gonna stop and start again, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't hear a single word you said after you introduced me.
No worries.
I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Mike Armstrong Podcast show. And this afternoon, we're joined by Pjero Mardesic, who's joining us from Sydney in Australia. And you're helping CEOs triple their professional productivity. And how are you doing today, Pjero? You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Mike. Thanks so much for welcoming me. And thank you very much to you and your audience for having the time and effort to take your time to listen in tonight.
Yeah, brilliant. And I can see in the background there you've got Addicted to Grow. Do you want to start off by explaining what that's all about?
Addicted to Grow is a worldwide phrase for personal development, and it's purely individual use. It's a completely self-run title now. I started it 3 years ago, and it was actually quite a pleasure bringing this to life. It started probably about 20 years ago when I was working for telecommunications, when there were still bag phones. So I may not look that old, but I remember starting before mobile phones ever existed. And it was going to be addicted to sell because I love selling and I love the idea of customer service and selling. So addicted to sell had a bit of a pun crossed with obviously mobile phones or cell phones at the time when they were starting to be introduced. But I never put it to use. And as I developed in my life, I noticed that I was growing in all different areas. So then it became the business name Addicted to Growing. And then I shortened it to Addicted to Grow. So that was the birth, probably about, 10, 12 years ago.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, because, I started out helping people with their sales and their marketing, etc. But I'm helping people with what I call their entrepreneurial journey at the moment. So, with helping them to grow their business rather than, because all sales and marketing I've been helping people with for a long time, but they are the keys to growth in business. So 90% of business success is based on how well the sales and marketing is performing. So it sounds like we're in very similar spaces and have done very similar journeys. So so great to meet a fellow awesome human being who's on a great journey.
Thank you so much, Mike. And yeah, it's definitely good to find like-minded people. And one of the biggest things I guess that we can probably clear up for the audience right now is, sales is all about connection and relationship and trading time for money or something for money. And it's also now about invitation. And I believe marketing is all about you, the person. I think from my perspective, if you can market yourself, if you can be a genuine, authentic person, you become a marketer.
Yeah.
What's your view?
Yeah, well, I agree. I think before the world used to be about perfectionism and being corporate and being stiff a bit, and all the presenters of the world were like that. But now, if you notice, all the presenters, the popular ones, are people like Ant and Dec, who got regional variations. Yeah, you probably know them from Australia, because they're well known. People who are authentic, genuine themselves, not airbrushing themselves and being, sort of fake versions of themselves, but being genuine, authentic, and real. I think that's where the world's moved 100%. To. And, that's why I think people like Ed Sheeran and people like that who are global sellers are like that, because they're not manufactured and they're not fake, but they're just authentic. Adele is another one, in some of the UK stars that you would have heard of in Australia. Some of these guys are making the money because they're genuinely them and not anyone else. So
100%.
Yeah, definitely. So as somebody who understands markets and why people are successful, etc., then you can't help but see authenticity running through most areas of success these days, and whatever that may be.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've even got a guy who's authentic running the USA as a president. He's authentically useless, but he's still authentic. He is what he is.
He's pretty authentic.
Exactly.
I guess I try not to delve into it, but I can definitely say that he is definitely an individual. So if that's his authentic self, then yeah, I guess he's doing a good job.
Yeah, and on any benchmark of success, you've got to say he's successful. Whether he's actually
Absolutely,
whether he's successful for the planet, who knows? But he's successful for himself. That's the main thing.
100%. I think that's totally a good point.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually I'm a massive a part of Intrabiz. I used to be an ambassador for 8 years, and now I'm a sales and marketing director there. And basically, Intrabiz run a network of like-minded individuals, people who are into the personal development space, they're into growth, ambition. They're into helping each other, collaborating, all that sort of thing. So I think obviously you're connected to a couple of groups and to Ella's Unstoppable Women's group. I already mentioned to Ella that she should join IWOW, which is a women-only group that the people who run Intrabiz run as well.
Yes.
Okay, but so obviously Intrabiz is for their corporates and for their sort of male and female members, and IWOW is a women-only group. And so I invited Ella to that group, and I think Ella's coming to our networking event on Friday. If you want if you want to come on as well, it's 9 till 11 on Friday, and you'll get a flavour for what Intrabiz is. Now, Intrabiz are doing a global summit in November with all like top global personal development speakers, people like Les Brown, Tom Ziegler, Zig Ziglar's son, Jarek Robbins, Tony Robbins' son, Sharon Lecter, loads of top speakers from around the world, obviously mostly America, but global speakers. And so at the moment, we're looking for affiliate partners, people who can help us spread the message of this global summit to get people 100%. To join. And it's free to join and learn all that great information from lots of people. But we're also looking for sponsors who can sponsor a speaker or sponsor the event and actually get their brand aligned with all of the speakers and with this global summit,
That's so great. Just so you and the audience know, like when you're on YouTube, what I'm looking at underneath is I've got my laptop here and I've actually got another my iPad's down here, and I'm actually looking up Intrabiz while you're talking about it because I love to really understand it. From what I see already, the landing page is great. It looks really good. There's plenty of information. So if you're in the audience, obviously you can check this out as well, but definitely, Mike, I want to talk more about this. This is a great idea. I think it's a great joint venture opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. And Intrabiz have been doing these high-level events for a long time, so they're the only people to bring Grant Cardone and Lord Sugar to an event a couple of years ago. And these are two of the biggest billionaires on the planet,
Absolutely. I think it's a great idea. And obviously, like I said, it's an amazing opportunity. So you can count me in for Friday. I've just got to make sure that the time aligns with my diary, and I'd love to join.
Yeah, well, I think it was 9 till 11, was it 12:30 now? So it's 9:30. So it's going to be about, was that going to be about 6 o'clock, something like that in the evening? 6
o'clock. Suits me. I've got no one else there.
Do you know what?
I've got no one else
Sydney, in there. Do you know what Sydney is to GMT? Is it +9?
Plus 10. Plus 10.
Plus 10, yeah. So 9 is going to be 7.
Oh, hang on a sec. So are you London?
I think. 4 o'clock till 6 o'clock.
Are you London time right now?
Yes, London time. Yeah, we're based in Wales.
So it's 12:55 right now over there?
It is 12:55, yeah.
Yeah, so you're minus 9 hours behind.
9, yeah. Okay, so I thought it was 9, not 10. Yeah, I thought it was 9. Yeah. So that means it's going to be 5 till 7 your time.
5 till 7 a.m. or p.m.
PM, yeah, because it's in the morning for us, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I've got a 5:30 with Carlos, who you would see on LinkedIn as well. Yeah. But that's half an hour, so I'd be able to jump on after that. That's great.
Yeah, that'd be fine because it's online and it's a Zoom call. You can join in, when you want to really. And
really
obviously, I just think there's no speakers. It's just a members event because sometimes we have speakers. Like during the lockdown, we've been doing events on a Wednesday evening because a lot of the speakers are from America. And so that's a good time for them. And we've had, like I say, Jarek Robbins, Brian Tracy, Sharon Lecter. Who else have we had?
Cool.
Loads of people, like, Les Brown
Yeah,
or Les Brown. I'm gonna forget Les Brown. Les Brown and Brian Tracy, two of my favourites. Like, Les Brown for his inspiration, and Brian Tracy for his education.
Oh man. I love that. I love that. What is your biggest? What would you say your biggest thing? What's been your biggest hurdle during COVID for you?
There hasn't been one. Well, there has been one. Yeah, my biggest hurdle during COVID was I decided to stop trying to get sales and marketing customers and market them, and actually concentrate on marketing myself. So I took on my most important client of all time. Yeah,
good man.
Because like it was the opportunity to get out there and put yourself on a global platform that wasn't available until 100%. that point.
100%. I love that.
So I wouldn't say I had too many challenges, because I actually smashed that. I did it for 6 months, and I got myself out there, and I know that's going to pay dividends a lot down the line, because I connected with a lot of great people.
Yeah, I like that. That's really good. So this, obviously, if there's people listening in the audience, obviously some of the things that Mike and I know, some of the things that we quite understand is obviously language, lingo, in the sales and marketing world. But, if you're listening right now, there's a big thing. Traditional sales is all about putting the customer last, even though you do the needs discovery first. Some of the things that Mike is talking about now, and some of the things that I'm extremely passionate about, is that when you put your customer, or when you put your client in the center of it, and you focus on them, if you want to give them exponential results, if you want to give them exponential growth, or even if you want to give them exponential lifestyles, you build your platform around that single client. So if you're listening right now, some of the things that you want to focus on is you want to focus on the person, the client. What do they want? What do they want to achieve? And when you do it properly, you can help them grow their business by putting them in the middle, not just going, oh, I need to market with what's in it for them. I need to show them the process, and then I need to sell them at the end. No, put them first. And if you want to know how to do that, obviously Mike and I are available to reach out to.
Exactly. To me, I started a podcast, and I record sales and marketing advice and information and tips, etc. I actually record one of my sales features is called Wolf of Wales.
Yes, love it. I love it.
And the first episode I did, my most important sales tip to anybody was to stop selling and start providing solutions.
100%. And if you're listening, like I hope that hit you right. If you're listening, I hope that hit you right. It's stop selling. Literally stop selling. Give value, give the benefits, and if you've been doing sales before, you obviously understand, feature, function, benefit. Focus on the benefit. What is the benefit for them? What are they going to get out of it? And start there. It's good on you, Mike. Have you got any, obviously, this is something that we're extremely passionate about. Let's have a yarn. Let's share with the audience some of your earliest experience of sales back when it was transactional. Let's go back to like the early 80s, even the 70s, when it was purely transactional selling. What can you remember?
Well, I started out in double glazing sales, door to door, and it was high pressurized sales. It's about as hard a sell as you can get, other than being a Mormon or a Jehovah's Witness. You know what I mean? It's hard sell. And so I was taught, I was taught about objection handling. I was taught about taking them through the yes journey. I was taught about all of that sort of, manipulation, psychology, emotive sales, pushing buttons, all of the sort of stuff which I teach people not to do now, but that's what I learned, in in-house sales training courses.
Yeah.
And I'm not actually religious at the moment, but I was brought up a Catholic in school. What they taught me to do is understand, things different, and that's a bit like sales. They taught me all the bad stuff to do, so I knew what not to do.
Yeah.
And I was actually just saying earlier today in a sales meeting, I learned off most of my bad sales management bosses what not to do, which actually put me on the path of what to do when I took on sales management roles.
I love that. When I did my podcast with the JA show, and you can watch that with Laura Ribeiro, what I spoke about the whole time was learning from previous bosses what not to do, because you would watch them. Yeah. You would watch them fuck up. Oh, sorry. Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah,
I would watch them, right? So I would watch them, and I would watch them make all the mistakes. And I was just in the background going, okay, I know what not to do now.
Yeah.
not to do that and not to do that and not to do that. So here's like another tip for the audience. If you're listening, honestly, you can't make all the mistakes yourself. The whole idea is actually not to. So many people have made the mistakes before you. And the thing is when you find yourself a role model who you're looking for to help you out, obviously find the role model that has walked the path that you have so that you can get the most out of them. But the other reason why I said that you can't make all the mistakes is because the idea goes like this. No one is actually truly innovative, right? People are truly innovative. They don't actually invent something new. Did that make sense, right? People innovate from old. So MySpace, basically Facebook took over MySpace and made it better. Basically, Netflix took over Blockbuster. The whole idea is that the video industry was already there. It's just that they were renting DVDs. So someone thought, hang on a minute, what if I put it onto like this massive, gigantic cloud space and then we rent it out to people? So when you're listening in the audience, obviously you want to focus on who can you help with you to get where you want to go, because you're not going to you'd be silly in this day and age to make all the mistakes yourself now. You will make your own mistakes, but don't make all of them yourself now. Reach out to people like obviously Mike or myself. There's hundreds of other sales coaches and people out there. But the idea is to really focus on where you want to go, because someone's already walked the path.
Yeah.
And go and get help. This is the biggest thing that's happening. Not enough people are actually asking for help anymore. They just think, oh no, I want all the glory myself. You're not going to get it that way.
Or they go to the people who are selling the knowledge, but not the wisdom of the applied knowledge.
Correct. They're getting all the free stuff and they're not actually getting the actual depth behind it.
Yeah.
I agree with you there, Mike, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. So I think there's definitely some great collaborations that we can explore, off air, further in more detail and all of that. Obviously, I'm looking for partners to help me push and grow, the Intrabiz brand globally. Yeah, we're already global, but we need to just keep getting to different parts of the world, and we don't have much of a in Australia. So any help there
to grow will jump on board. Yeah.
And obviously,
so I reckon we could.
I want to know what I can do for you. What can we do for you to grow your brands and your business, etc.
I think the biggest thing, obviously, I'm already doing this with Ella. So Ella and I are creating we've got an amazing group, a group business space that we'll share with you privately on off air. And what we're going to do with that is obviously that'll give you a helping hand. And obviously we'll talk about that off air. But, if you hear about this and you're listening to the podcast right now or the YouTube video, this is a time, right? The reason that I asked Mike about a question around transactional selling, and I touched on it before, is that transactional selling became something we had to do. After the war, it was like we had to sell purely for transaction, right? And then there became this kind of like relationship selling, where people would like build a relationship, or they would door knock, just like Mike did, right, to build this relationship before they sell. And they'd use a lot of hard words, and it was very hard closing back in the 70s and 80s. And then we moved into what we called consultative selling. Consultative selling is where you would then take people out to lunch and you try and wine and dine them, right? And then you became like, I'll be your consultant, right? A lot of businesses did business consulting. Obviously, Mike does business consulting. Now, I want you all in the audience to understand this one shift, and I'm watching it happen because of COVID especially. I feel as if we've moved in, and Mike, I'd love to get your input. I feel as if we've moved into invitational selling. I feel as if we've come to a place where, exactly like you asked me there a moment ago, it's like, we're looking for people to join Intrabiz. I feel as if there's this huge shift, especially because of COVID, that a lot of people are holding onto their money, and it almost becomes like an invitation to work together rather than a sell. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think to me, the last 6 months has all been about people inviting each other to collaborate together and actually build through joint compound effect, really, of joining networks. And because everything's gone global, everyone is like linking together. Like people like us would mix with people in our geographical areas, but not each other. But now, because of COVID and extra time and extra events, everyone's linking together, and it's all about, okay, how can we collaborate and how can we share networks and cross network and join the dots and do introductions and
100%.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like I never would have thought to myself that I would have had this amount of Zoom calls with new people in the last 6 months.
Yeah, I've actually
had
the world at home, and I put red pins in for everywhere I get a connection or someone from my podcast or whatever. And I haven't got one in Sydney, I don't think. I got one in Melbourne. Actually, I might have one in Sydney, I don't know, but I'll stick another one in anyway.
Good on you, thank you.
It's about, to me, it's about what I won't have done my job, but I'll have completed a big chunk of it when I can't see any more map and it's just red pins.
I love that. That is purely about giving. If you're in the audience and you heard that, that is purely about giving and sharing information together as a worldwide global movement. This is like a new movement.
Yes.
So
it's a global movement. And there's another guy we had on as one of our speakers who you'll love. His name's Bob Berg. Yeah, he was one of our speakers at the masterclass event, and you can find out his talks as well as Les Brown's and lots of others by going to the Interbiz website. So if you're on the website, at some point, go to the page which is about the speakers, and you'll be able to find videos of the content from throughout the year. Bob Berg has been on my podcast as well, and Bob Berg is a best-selling author, and he's a Hall of Fame speaker in the top 30, I think, in the Hall of Fame list. And he's written a book called Go Givers.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah. Go Givers. Wow. And Endless Referrals. And it's all about the stuff that we do anyway, but he's been, writing books and talking about this for a while. So he's he's a really interactive guy on social media and stuff. So he's always liking my posts and I'm always liking his and all of that. So he really gets that sort of relationship building, both in the real world and online.
I like that. I'm going to look through the page. Like I'm still looking at it now. I love the package opportunities. I love that there's, networking events that you can do. Like this is just a great opportunity for like exactly what's going on right now. So if you're listening to the audience, it's called Intro Biz, and obviously you can reach out to Mike, but obviously myself, because now that we've collaborated, I'm going to help him. Like I'm going to join arms with him, and anything that we can support. As far as Addicted to Grow being the worldwide phrase for personal development, this is exactly what it's about.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll send you the link for the podcast and the YouTube video. You can put it in your groups and on your social media and that.
Please.
If anyone
absolutely, my man,
who's part of your group and network wants to come on my podcast and have a chat, I can also give them the benefits of joining Interbiz and joining our community. And
beautiful.
I can let Interbiz members and people know how they can get involved in your community. And we'll just, because they're complementary communities that aren't conflicting or competitive. But even if they were, what does it matter? We're all putting the same message out. But and we're all stronger together. So it'd be great to get you on Friday with Ella, because Ella's awesome as well, and it'd be great to put a bit more meat on the bone of some of those ideas. And I look forward to growing with you and helping you to grow, because I'm addicted to grow, and you're addicted to producing business, which is
That's it. Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate the kind words and the gestures. And, we're part of a growing community. And like when we say it like this, if you're listening in the audience, those are the people that participate, the people that want to join these type of, movements in society, right? We only make up about 0.2% of the world population. So if you're listening and you are excited about whether it be personal development, drive, networking, online business, like truly it changes your life in the best possible way, because you get to meet people overseas, you get to join arms, you get to experience different types of business, and you work in your own time.
Yeah,
exactly. You work in your own time.
You get to live life on your terms rather than anyone else.
Correct.
Yeah. Which is hashtag YOLO. You only get one life. Might as well live around.
That's it.
All right, brilliant. I'm conscious that I'm somewhere where I need to vacate some sound and let some other people do some stuff. So it's been great having you on my podcast and on the YouTube channel. and look forward to connecting and just, doing some more business with you, really, and helping each other grow.
Absolutely, Mike. Thank you so much, Mike. And I appreciate your audience. And like I said, I appreciate the commitment to yourselves for jumping on and, taking the time to listen in. And if you want to reach me, you can get me at Addicted to Grow, or there's Pjero, which is the private brand now, the elite CEO executive coaching brand. And you can get me through www.addictedtogrow.net, or you can get me on any handle of Addicted to Grow or Pjero Mardesic, and I'm sure Mike will put that up in the details.
Yes, I will, definitely. And if you want to send me any links or whatever, obviously we're connected on LinkedIn and Messenger, I think. Send me any links and I'll stick them in the
100%.
The podcast and the YouTube.
I'd be more than happy to do that.
Brilliant. All right, then you have an awesome rest of your day. There's not much left of it, but enjoy it, and I'll catch up with you Friday.
Thank you so much, Mike. I'll see you Friday.
All right, brilliant. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.